Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals do battle with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to HEINZ Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to HEINZ Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A few moments ago, the Steeler offensive starters, including all-pro wideout Antonio Brown, were introduced, and they've got this crowd in a frenzy as they get set to square off with the Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
Here we go from HEINZ Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. Calling the shots in the huddle will be the 8th-year man from TCU. His first season in his 30s. The quarterback is Andy Dalton.
2 straight subpar years for the Bengals, 6-9-1 in 2016, followed by a 7-9 in 2017. Many are starting to wonder whether Andy Dalton's actually on the hot seat this year. It's unfortunate. It comes with the territory when you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, even if it's not always fair.
The first carry for the second-year man, Joe Mixon. Pretty nice move, but not a ton of space there. They stop him shy of the 25. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Okay, we get a glance now at the starting lineup offensively for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Tyler Boyd out of Pitt, one of my favorite receivers in the 2016 draft. The only thing he didn't have, long speed. Really runs about the mid-4.5s, maybe a 4.6 guy, but smart, understands the passing game very well, and doesn't drop anything.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
In today's NFL, you're not just looking for height from your cornerbacks. You're looking for length in order to combat the tall wide receivers that they have to play against each and every week. And Artie Burns has all of that. In addition, he has the ability to change direction and make plays on the football in the air. And finally, he's a willing tackler, which is really key for cornerbacks today.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Dalton here from the gun. And able to find Green. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. The connection since 2011. Dalton to Green for a Bengal first down.
There's nothing like getting out of the gate and finding your favorite target. Andy Dalton just did that with A.J. Green.
And some people call that a nice fantasy football connection as well.
Yeah, they're piling up the points that way, and they want to see that continue.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Dalton, 1st and 10. And incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Andy Dalton. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
Oh, my goodness, was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Well, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton now to pass. On the screen, Bernard. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, but they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Tackle made that time by Michael Johnson. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Now it's Roethlisberger. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And the ball is knocked out, and the Bengals have recovered it. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Cincinnati Bengals, they're coming off what was maybe believed to be a potential playoff preview when they faced the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 7, but this was all about the Chiefs. The Bengals only put up 10 points and lost by 35, Charles, in that Sunday night game.
And sometimes the quarterback gets way too much attention. Not Patrick Mahomes, who's off to a sensational start. But I'm talking about Andy Dalton for Cincinnati, because we grade them almost like starting pitchers. But he is 0-6 in his career in Sunday night games. And now Cincinnati has given up first place in their division. Pittsburgh sat at home on their open week and moved into first place by virtue of the Bengals' loss.
And the Bengals 4-3. They do come back home next week for Tampa Bay.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Two minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to HEINZ Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Our first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Throwing, Dalton. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Another chance for Dalton. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Well, these two guys, Dalton and Green, they've hooked up on some big plays since coming in as rookies together back in 2011. But sometimes Andy can rely on them just a little bit too heavily. And this is a ball he probably shouldn't have thrown.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Black 20.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That is incomplete. Darqueze Dennard there defensively.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Roethlisberger will hand a counter. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Alex Erickson deep for Cincinnati. Taken in at the 22. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Green's got it over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Open man is Uzama. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
second down. Dalton. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Bullock will put this one through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half. And as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. Switzer now to return. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now Roethlisberger to throw. His throw incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And his pass incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And it's 3rd down.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards a year ago, and a 1st down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3-and-out. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Set. Black 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers at 1st.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic. And Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Connor. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Bengals have recovered it.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 26. All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure. He's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there at 22. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Here's a give to Mixon. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. Fighting through. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to make it 4th down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Kevin Huber now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. One last shot for Roethlisberger. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? You know, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.